Alright, Algebra 2. Today we're going to go over the unit circle. Very, very important unit in the trig. A very, very important thing that you're going to need to have memorized and know the origins of it. So that's why I'm having you, for today's homework, complete the whole entire unit circle and know exactly how to complete the unit circle, because it's very important. And several years ago, students of mine, former students, went to college. These are engineering students, and they told me, you know, hey, you need to show them how to do that unit circle. That is so very important. So we got to go over the unit circle in detail and set it up so you guys know what I'm talking about and where it's coming from. And then we'll utilize it and use it later on. Okay, so you'll remember back from geometry these two special right triangles. So in geometry, you were just told this is 2s, this is s root 3. That's supposed to be a 3. This is s root 2. Okay, so that's what you were told. S root 3, 2s, s root 2. Remember, everything the next to the 30 was the s root 3. Next to the 60 was s, hypotenuse was 2s. So now I want to find the values, the actual ratio numbers for these sides. Now, when you're looking at this in the unit circle, you're going to radian, or your radius, is going to be 1 unit. So I'm going to take this, my radius, and I'm going to set it equal to 1. Well, what does s equal? 1/2. So that means that if I plug this in, this would be 1/2, and this would be root 3 over 2. I just found my ratios, this being 1. So over here, I'm going to take it, next to the 60 was 1/2. Next to the 30, root 3 over 2. Hypotenuse, 1. So those are my new ratio units for those. So I do the same thing with the 45, 45, 90. Hypotenuse is going to be 1. So I'm going to set it equal to 1. Divide by root 2. Multiply by root 2 over 2. So you get root 2 over 2. That's your s. This right here is root 2 over 2. Root 2 over 2. So now you know how I came up with those ratios. And these numbers are going to be used all of the time when we're finding exact values of, let's say, sine 45 or cosine 45 or tangent of 45. We're going to be using these numbers. These are also the numbers that we are incorporating into our unit circle. Okay, so the unit circle, 360 degrees. So I'm just going to go ahead and label some common ones that you can see right away. This would be 0 degrees, obviously 90, 180, 270, back up to 360. Okay, so we got other angles within there. So we've got other angles coming into play. And based on these 3 angles, 30, 60, 45. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 3 more angles in quadrant 1. Okay, remember this is quadrant 1. Okay, so this is going to be 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees. Not drawn to scale. Doesn't need to be drawn to scale. So not drawn to scale. Okay, but those are the 3 angles within that quadrant. So each one has 3 angles coming down in of a 30, 60, 45 degree coterminal angles. So if I took 180 minus 30, I get 150 degrees. Minus 45, I get 135 degrees. Minus 60, I get 120. Now I could have done it using that 90. What's 90 plus 30? What's 90 plus 45? What's 90 plus 60? Okay. Same thing here. What's 180 plus 30? 210. What's 180 plus 45? 225. What's 180 plus 60? 240. And same thing here. What's 270 plus 30? 300. Plus 45. 270 plus 3 or plus 45. 335. 270 plus 60, or you can go this way. 360 minus 60 was this one. 360 minus 30. 330, and I messed up on this one. It's 315. Hopefully you guys caught that. Okay? So those are the angles coming around that unit circle. Okay, those are your angles coming around that unit circle. So now remember, I told you we've got 1 radian coming across the radius. Okay, so each of these are your radii. So this right here is 1 radian coming across. So if I was to write, change my color up, the ordered pair for this, so if I was to write the ordered pair for my 0 degrees, it's over 1 up 0 units. If I am writing this ordered pair, it's over 0 units up 1. This is over -1 units, 0. And this one here is 0, -1. Okay, so those are the exact values. Now, a lot of these are written as cosine, sine. So in your ordered pair, whenever you have ordered pairs, you're seeing these ordered pairs around your unit circle, it is cosine, sine. And think of x, y, alphabetical order. Cosine, sine, alphabetical order. Okay, it's alphabetical order. So I'm looking at my 30 degrees. And I have to do what my cosine value is and what my sine value is. So 30 degrees, cosine, sine. So I'm going to go over here. Cosine of 30. Remember cosine, if we think back to SOHCAHTOA, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So 30 degrees, adjacent over hypotenuse, cosine is going to be root 3 over 2. Okay, so my cosine is root 3 over 2. So what's my sine? Opposite over hypotenuse. That means my sine is 1/2. Okay, so sine, opposite over hypotenuse, 1/2, 1/2. So that means my ordered pair at 30 degrees is root 3 over 2, 1/2. The 45s are so unbelievably easy, because what are the only ratios you're given in a 45, 45, 90? The root 2 over 2s. So no matter what, your cosine and your sine are going to be the same. So when I'm going around my unit circle, I'm going to go to everything that's 45. So I know that this one here is root 2 over 2. I know that this one here is root 2 over 2. Root 2 over 2. I know this one here, root 2 over 2. Root 2 over 2. And also put in your, like this here, this is negative, positive, negative, positive. Follows the same as your unit circle or your Cartesian plane, negative, negative, positive, negative. Okay, this right here is positive, positive. This coordinate 2, is negative, positive. Quadrant 3, negative, negative. And quadrant 4, positive, negative. Okay, so keep that in mind as we're going around the quadrants. So 60 degrees. So over here to 60 degrees. Cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse. So you got 1/2. And then over here again, sine, opposite over hypotenuse, root 3 over 2. Okay, so now we're coming around the unit circle. And I always start here at my 180. So my 180 to 150 is 30 degrees. So if my 30 degrees over here is root 3 over 2, 1/2, over here it's going to be, because of the signs, negative root 3 over 2, 1/2. 120, we already figured out the 135. 120 is 60 degrees. So that means from, 120 to 60 degrees, I look here, negative 1/2 because of the signs, root 3 over 2. Okay? And this one here, as you're going down it, you're going to go around these, and you're just going to keep filling out what they are. So we're just going to keep filling out what these things are, what the ordered pairs are. And one thing you notice, so if I'm going around my unit circle and how the pattern goes, once you remember these are easy. And so that's what the quiz will be on this weekend, or this Friday. It's going to be a unit circle. I'm going to give you blank spots. Okay, and I'm going to trust that you're not going to cheat on it and fill them out the correct way, because I'm going to actually have you show work and stuff like that. So what I want you to do for homework is I want you to complete those right there, these bottom quadrants. And one thing you notice, so here I have these ordered pairs. Look at, they just repeated themselves. So what do you think is going to happen here? Repeat itself, just a sign change. Okay, so complete the rest of these. We do have to add one more thing to your unit circle, so make sure you do it on a big enough paper. We do have to do the radians, and we'll do that when we get to the radian unit. So that's your assignment, is to finish that unit circle in its entirety, finish that bottom portion, quadrants 3 and 4, and then hand that in.